Okay, here we go. So,
You sure?
yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's working this time.
Okay. I'll be back in about 3 hours.
Yeah. Eric has to get some more water, and because he's recently hurt his foot,
Yeah, breaking it off in your ass.
he hurt his foot walking or something, I'm not sure he was even moving when he did it, but anyway.
I tried to kick out of the Scorpion Deathlock.
Oh, yeah?
I got physically injured trying to do it.
I can imagine.
So... He pinned me for no reason.
Shut up and get your water, bitch. Give me my time in the sun. You are. Anyway, so I just wanted to continue talking about TNA a little bit. And, let's see, yes, I'm going to continue, because TNA, and this is the kind of subject, the topic sentence or thesis, if you will, of this presentation. I know, I'm hardcore like that.
Words. It's actually got like 6 letters.
So TNA needs to go away forever and die.
I said that about my third wife, but
you're not funny.
I'm Jerry Lawler plus half.
Yeah. So TNA needs to fuck off and die. I'm done. I hope I've been done for a while, but I hope other people are starting to get to that point where, it's not worth it. It's not worth the time. It's not worth. I mean, TNA is an insult. It's an insult to everything that is professional wrestling. Yay! Yes, it's insulting. It's a joke. It's ridiculous, and it needs to depart. I know that everybody, we all say competition in wrestling is a good thing, and blah, 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 and it is. It is a good thing. Here, you want to come back?
No, just give us some examples of why TNA sucks.
Oh, you want some... All right.
Aside from Victory Road.
Victory Road is simply the most recent and most obvious example. But, TNA... Dixie Carter doesn't know how to run the company. She doesn't. As soon as she became more involved, it went to hell, in my opinion. She doesn't know how to run the company. She doesn't know what she's doing. Hogan and Bischoff are treating it like their own personal playground to get all their friends together. They're basically treating it like the end of the WCW run when nobody was watching, so they could do whatever they wanted to. The company has turned into WCW, and they have convinced their fans somehow that the company is cutting-edge, alternative, ECW type. That's why the whole Hardcore Justice EV 2.0 thing went over so well with TNA fans, is because TNA fans think that they're indie. They think they're independent fans. And they think that they are alternative and smart and cool and hip and not WWE. And it's like...
They don't think that they can have one pulled over on.
Yeah, no, they think they're brilliant. And they think TNA is amazing, and I really hope, that some of you guys are starting to come around. I really do, because it's not, first of all, ECW's over. Sorry, but there isn't one anymore. The closest thing there is to one now, I guess, is I don't know if I want to say Ring of Honor, but because they're not really the same thing.
Yeah, but they're not cutting edge or counterculture. They're just good products.
I guess you could say CZW in some ways, but I mean that's the whole point. Is that the point of ECW was not necessarily the fact that it was hardcore. The point of ECW was that it was doing things in professional wrestling that the mainstream companies were not doing.
Well, why would you want to be ECW? It was third place and out of money.
Can the microphone even hear you? Just out of curiosity. Okay.
Just throwing that out there.
All right. Well, Eric asked why he didn't want to be ECW, third place and out of money, which is funny because he's like an ECW fanboy.
I love ECW.
I know you do.
Why would you want to be ECW?
Well, you don't want to be ECW from a business perspective, but you want to be ECW from a perspective of, I mean, TNA fans want to be ECW because they want to have that feeling of, we are the anti-WWE. But all they are is they're WWE light. They're WCW light, for God's sakes. I mean, at least back in the 90s, Kevin Nash could still technically wrestle.
Well,
Sting could too.
That prestige. TNA doesn't even have that.
Well, prestige, perhaps, but I mean, this must be really annoying for viewers watching me respond to off-screen comments that you can't hear. I apologize for that. No, you don't have to shut up, but
We like to be innovative here.
he can hear me, and he has things to say, which is why we make these videos in the first place. That's okay. The point is that TNA's management is crap. TNA's announced team is crap. TNA's production crew is crap. TNA's fans don't know what they're talking about. Sorry for any of you watching this, but you don't. If you cheer for the things you cheer for, and you chant "This is awesome" 2 minutes into a match, and you chant "This is wrestling" for every match on a card, every one, you realize if you do that, it makes the appreciation less appreciative, because after a while, people are going like, oh, well, of course they're chanting "This is awesome." They do that every time. And it's everything about TNA is horrible, with the exception of the wrestlers on the roster. And the result of that is that, but when I say this, I'm talking about the actual wrestlers on the roster, not the old fucks who want their payoff. And the result of that is you've got guys like Styles and Joe and Desmond Wolfe, thank you, and Angle, for God's sakes, and Shannon Moore and Beer Money and the Machine Guns, all these great Taz, yeah, all these great guys that you've got on your roster who are stuck in your horrible fucking programs because you don't know how to write, you don't know how to book, you don't know how to run a company, and, I mean, don't get me wrong, am I saying that I could necessarily do it better? Probably, but, that's not what this is about. My point is that, Dave Lagana could come in and make this better.
Heyo!
I love Dave Lagana, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, now that I know that all the horrible ideas weren't actually his, you've got all these people, these great wrestlers who are stuck in this pile of shit because they can't really go back to Ring of Honor because A, they have, they're going to pay them less there, and B, they're probably under contract, and C, I'm not sure how many Ring of Honor fans are going to accept you if you come back from TNA, although I guess Daniels and Homicide did, and they were totally set back in the fold, so maybe they should go back to Ring of Honor, but they damn well can't go to WWE, because WWE won't have them.
Well, that's because they consider all of TNA's
You want to come
talent.
back? Come on back.
They consider all of TNA's talent minor league talent that they have yet to scout.
Right.
So anybody who comes out of TNA is going to be treated the same way Daniel Bryan got treated, where, might be the best wrestler in the world, but we're going to make you go to our minor league system and prove yourself. Nobody on TNA has oberness. I mean, look at fucking Braden Walker when he got to the WWE.
Scotty Goldman.
Yeah, these guys get squashed by the WWE because the WWE just doesn't feel like TNA is even near them.
No.
And the funny thing is, and it's been said by multiple people, WWE needs TNA to do well, and they know it. They need TNA to be better. The problem is, TNA's got every chance in the world to be better, and they keep dropping the ball.
I don't think WWE's even in the mindset anymore. I don't think. I mean, maybe when they were coming up and they were getting buzz going and people were talking about them, WWE was like, "Wow, if these guys become good, it'll make the whole industry better." Right now, TNA is not even on WWE's radar. They're not even thinking competition, new Monday Night War. You think now is the time? I mean, how did that work out for you?
I think WWE...
How did the new Monday Night work out for you, TNA? You want me to quote you? Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. Just from the administration, TNA management has listened to the audience, and we're moving back to Thursday nights.
Where we'll be relevant again.
Because we suck so hard.
I think TNA, TNA, they just, they seriously, they feel like they are relevant in the business, but they haven't done anything to prove that. At every turning point, not to use one of their pay-per-view titles as a point here, but every turning point in TNA history has been followed up by failure. Every plateau that TNA has reached, they then spout off how great they are, and they use that plateau or that benchmark for 3-4 months beyond its usefulness, and then follow it up with crap. They can't get the momentum going. That every time they've had something great happen, like I'll go with just this for an example: Christian jumping to TNA. It was a big deal for the fans because there were a lot of fans who felt like Christian was getting the shaft in the WWE and wanted to see what he would do when given a chance to main event. And at that point, a lot of fans said, okay, we do realize that TNA is not equal to WWE, but we do feel that being the main event in TNA is good enough for Christian, and we think we want to see where that will go. Now, that actually started out pretty good. But it didn't actually go anywhere. It didn't lead to anything better. It got them a couple more people, a couple more eyeballs, but it didn't improve the product any because they continued to book very lackluster, very hit and miss. They're very inconsistent. That's the word I'm looking for. Very inconsistent booking.
It worked for a while, but I think Christian was one of the guys who after things really started going downhill. I mean, where is he now? He's back in WWE, ain't he?
And he's closer to the main event than he's ever been now.
I guess, yeah.
Well, I mean, he is. He's involved in the Del Rio Edge feud for the title.
He's done his time. If you're a TNA wrestler and you go to WWE or you return to WWE, then you have to spend like 6 months to a year at least, like making up for that.
Plus, you have to spend some time injured,
Hornswoggle or something.
Plus, you have to be injured for a while, like Christian was.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, and then the Kurt Angle jumps, huge turning point in the company, And what do? They give us exactly what we want right away. Joe Angle. We got to see Joe Angle very early on in Angle's career.
First thing they did
in TNA. But where did that go? Joe got a title reign out of it, which everybody wanted, and then he got promptly squashed and saddled with bad gimmicks and bad supporting cast members and bad matches and bad booking. And Kurt Angle got the same deal. Kurt Angle stuck in Main Event Mafia, which nobody liked because half the Main Event Mafia was the people that are the problem in TNA.
I will never, ever forgive TNA for taking the greatest pure wrestler of our generation
and
turning him into a joke.
Yeah.
What you did to Samoa Joe is unforgivable, and I hope you burn for it. I don't believe in hell. Allow me to clarify, because I don't believe that means I want someone to light you on fire.
Wow. Yeah. I understand where Joe's coming from. Working for TNA is actually a great work schedule. You get to do 2 shows in one evening. You get a lot of time off.
Main star talent goes there so they can dick around.
You get to work
and
in
not
one
get
location.
drug tested.
Yeah, Jeff. So I get why people want to work there. It's just the problem with that then is you're putting yourself in the hands of completely incapable wrestling bookers, and you wind up with Joe being a complete gimmick and joke. The same thing happened to who am I trying to think? Well, I mean the Pope, for example. D'Angelo Dinero comes in. He actually wins over the audience pretty quickly. Yeah, and with really no assistance other than a really cool gimmick and pretty good matches.
And being a good wrestler.
They've sunk him. They've completely sunk him too.
They sink everybody. They're poison.
Desmond Wolfe debuts with a fantastic 3-match series with Kurt Angle that just blew everybody out of the water. Now he's not even on friggin' Explosion.
In closing,